basically, we started the band in about 1990. We started playing and writing songs. We were all friends from a small town, and we wanted to. We had been going to shows, and we kind of wanted to start a band that was influenced by some of our favorite bands and some of the the older. Not even that much older, but like the mid to late '80s, New York hardcore bands. We were growing up in a suburb from outside of Los Angeles, and we kind of wanted to do something that was in a similar style than a lot of the New York hardcore bands that were no longer playing. So we started the band, and from then, we pretty much booked a lot of our early shows ourselves. Originally the band was called Stand as One, and we booked our first shows locally. Like our first real show was with Outspoken and Downcast was supposed to play. They didn't end up playing, and that was at Rick's High School. We booked a show there. The second show that we did, we booked ourselves, was with Outspoken, Chain of Strength, Drift Again, and we booked that at a little clubhouse in town. So when we first started, it was really hard. We didn't know too many people. It was really hard to get on shows, so we just started building ourselves, building our scene within our town. From then, we started playing out in Long Beach and Riverside and a lot of places in Southern California. We hooked up with Mike Hartsfield at New Age Records and we recorded a demo with him. He wanted to do the 7-inch, and from there it just kind of took off. A lot of touring, a lot of playing. I think a big landmark for us as a band was we did the Only the Strong comp in 1993. Bands like Snapcase, Warzone, on Victory Records. And I think that song really took our band to the next level. Then we ended up signing to Victory, releasing our first record, and pretty much touring all over the world. So that's the brief history. Yeah, currently we've been touring with, it's almost the original lineup from the One Truth in This Defiance era. It's Rick Rodney on vocals, obviously Chad on bass, me and Todd on guitar, and then we have a new drummer. His name is Pepe, and he's been touring with us for the past 2 years. Basically, Sid have been playing with us, but he's really he started DJing. He's pretty dedicated to that, and he's basically booked 5 to 7 days a week as a DJ. So it basically got to a point where it just, if we wanted to continue with Sid in the band, we just wouldn't be able to play, shows. It'd be, one show a year maybe. So we got Pepe, and he's an amazing drummer and a great fit for the band. Everyone in the band does things outside the band. Rick's a professional photographer. He has his own website and does a lot of freelance books for clothing brands, fashion shoots. Does a lot of live photography for musicians that appear on websites, newspapers all over the world. So he's really, really busy with that. Chad works for a big company that does concert promotions in Los Angeles, as well as all over the U.S., but his main base is Los Angeles. They do tons of local shows as well as big festivals like Coachella. They're the company behind Coachella. I do a lot of music, as well as I have a clothing store called Tradition. And then Todd has his own business as well, and it's kind of it's medical evaluations. And basically, it works to analyze your body to maximize your workout. If you want to lose weight or gain muscle, it'll analyze your body and tell you, they'll basically tell you the best way to do that. And then our drummer Pepe is he's a professional drummer. He plays in another band called King and tours a lot with them. He also is a drum instructor at Musicians Institute in Los Angeles. So he's really busy. He's the type of guy that will wake up in the morning and play drums, teach drums all day, practice with the band, then come to our band practice, and then after that, you know what I mean? He's like plays drums from when he wakes up in the morning till when he goes to sleep. And then, like I said, Sid is a really pretty big DJ. He DJs all over the world, so he's really busy with that. And that's about it. I mean, as a band, I don't really think you could ever relive the past. You know what I mean? Like, the 90s were a great era, and it was obviously a great time for the band. You can never recapture that moment. Like, you know what I mean? You can never be 20 again in a van with your best friends. Like, you could try as much as you want. You can never recapture that moment in time. As far as us as a band, you know, we just enjoy playing. We enjoy hanging out with each other. We enjoy touring. So that's why we do it. I think what we're really trying to do, you know, our focus is basically, you know, I'm still pretty active in the hardcore scene, supporting shows, but like I want to bring what I love about hardcore back into hardcore. And to me, it's, you know, it's stage diving and singing along, and it's not the big open horseshoe that's in front of every band with 10 kids trying to dance as hard as they want, punching everyone. Like, to me, that's not fun. Like, what I always loved about hardcore was being up front, singing along to your favorite band, and doing as many stage dives as you can. And we're trying to, you know, show the young kids it's not just about 10 kids dancing hard in a big open circle. Like, to me, that's not fun at all. And really, like, you know, just kind of show that there are alternatives to what is accepted everywhere in life, in the hardcore scene, and basically, like, just have fun. You know, have fun. Don't fight each other. You know what I mean? Like, everyone that goes to a punk or a hardcore show is a fucking outcast, and there's no reason to be fighting amongst yourself. Like, fight against the outside world. And that's it. Like, we're not trying to relive anything or rehash anything. We're just trying to play and give the best show that we can, and travel and meet people, and, you know, and go places that we didn't get to go, and play for kids that never got to see us. And it was awesome. Like, you know, I would say if I ever had a feeling that, you know, that reminded me of the 90s, I would definitely say, you know, we recently went to South America, and that would have been the closest feeling of the 90s again. Like, we played in Peru, Buenos Aires, and Brazil, and I just felt that the kids were really dedicated and positive, and it was awesome. Like, some of the best shows we played in years, and we met a bunch of great people, and I thought it was great. All those countries have great scenes, and I really recommend any band, like, if you're going to tour anywhere in the world, definitely try to make it out to South America. I really think, you know, if you really want to understand, like, the real life of being in a band, you have to watch the whole video, because a lot of people kind of glamorize, like, being in a band and being on tour, and, you know, you get to travel and see the world, and it's so easy, and you have all these fans, but, you know, that part's great, but there's also a lot, you know, there's a real struggle involved, too. It's like, you know, 10 people crammed in a van, driving, you know, 10 hours from show to show, real, you know, cramped conditions, no sleep, you know, showing up, having to play, you know, not having a lot of money. Like, there's a dark side that I feel like a lot of people don't really see. And if you really want to see what it's like, you know, being on tour in a band, and if you're not able to do it, like, I think you have to watch the whole video, and you could really see, you know, the ups and the downs. And you know, I think, you know, that we did that tour in 1995, and I really feel like, you know, it was a great moment in time, and I'm really glad that we had the foresight to have some people filming that and documenting that time, because, like I said, like, you can never recreate that. And those, you know, every show on that tour was amazing, and we met a bunch of great people, and you know, we had a blast. You know, definitely a time to remember. Yeah, basically the future of Strife, I mean, it's pretty wide open. I mean, right now we're currently writing some new music, so we hope to early next year maybe release a new record, and then just kind of continue doing what we're doing right now. You know, up to a level where it's not too much for everybody in the band. You know, everybody has outside lives and you know, other plans and other goals, but you know, if we can get together and do some tours and play some shows, like, we're going to keep doing that as long as it's fun, and as long as everyone's heart's in it, we're still going to do that. Like, I can't say we're going to be a band for 10 more years, but I think right now we're taking it day by day, working on some new music, and you know, and traveling and playing, and we're just going to keep doing that. So we got to see some really great places this year. This year has been pretty busy. You know, we toured Japan, toured South America, we toured Europe. You know, hopefully we're going to make it to Southeast Asia early next year, and then I think once we have our new record done, it's going to open up some doors to go to some new places, or you know, go back to places that we've been, and the shows will be better, and just build off that. That's pretty much it right now. Basically, you know, through and through, off of our album One Truth, it's funny because a lot of people took their own interpretation of that song, and a lot of people thought it was about straight edge, or I don't know what they thought about it. And it's funny because if you read the lyrics, it's very blatant what the song's about. The song's a love song. And if you read the lyrics, it basically spells it out for you. It's like, will you ever know what it is I feel for you? How can I express myself? Is there any single way to? Like, it's basically, it's pretty wide open. And that's just a love song. It's basically, you know, follow your heart, and the rest will come, you know. I mean, basically right now, the only band I even know that I've even heard on Victory would probably be Ringworm. You know, I picked up the new Ringworm album, Scars. It's awesome. Like, I've always been a big fan of Ringworm. As far as the other bands, I don't even know who they are or what they sound like. I'm pretty detached from them as a label and what they're putting out. You know, I feel like they kind of went in a different direction. And there's a new crop of younger labels that are really putting out the great hardcore. You know, labels like Reaper, Bridge 9, Death Wish, 6131, and they've kind of stepped in, and they're the new underground. You know, the new hardcore labels, and you know, they replaced the Victories and the Revelations and the New Age. Like, this is the new crop of labels, and I think it's awesome. They're doing a great job. They're putting out some great music, and you know, I'd say, like, right now, Reaper is probably one of my favorite labels. They put out a lot of consistently solid releases. About 5 years ago, I opened a streetwear boutique called Tradition. We have 2 locations, one in Westlake and one in Ventura, both in Southern California. And basically, we carry limited edition apparel from a bunch of, you know, independent brands like the Hundreds, Crooks and Castles, Diamond Supply, Accomplice, and even smaller brands, Pros and Cons, Soul Assassin. And basically, you know, we wanted to create an alternative to the typical mall experience. I had worked in fashion for a long time, so did my partner. And we wanted to create an alternative to just going to a mall and buying from these big corporations. And so, you know, it's really the same DIY ethic that, you know, punk rock and hardcore bands follow. Like, we applied that to apparel. And, you know, we opened our own store, and basically, you know, our goal of the store is we're not just a place where you go buy something. Like, we're here to educate the community. Like, the roots of streetwear, you know, a lot of it comes from art graffiti, music. So we support all of that, and we do art shows, and we have a gallery inside of our store, and we do in-store performances by, we do a lot of hip-hop stuff. We've had people like Raekwon in there, DJ Muggs, Get Busy Committee, Planet Asia, Strong Arm Steady, got a lot of performers, and basically it's like, just to show, it's like streetwear is not just about buying a cool shirt. It's like, it's a movement. Like, it comes from skateboarding, it comes from graffiti, it comes from art, it comes from music, and it's like, we push the whole, all of the roots, so you can see the whole culture behind the clothing, and really, try to educate the kids and the consumer, and kind of show them the roots of where this came from, and why is this brand referencing this, this piece of art or this lyric, and it's cool. Like, I've had a lot of fun, and we've done some really cool things, cool collaborations. We did T-shirts with Raekwon. We've done some T-shirts with Terror to promote their records, and it just gives us a cool ability to kind of do whatever we want. If I like something, I could do a T-shirt or an in-store performance or an art show, and I really like that. I really like that freedom. So you can check us out online, shoptradition.com. We have a website, a blog. The blog's always updated with new music and different information, and it's cool. That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
You ready? So I got the Indonesian hardcore punk attack, One Voice Records. You sent this back with my friend Sean for me to check out, and I thought it was really cool. It definitely got exposed me to a bunch of bands I'd never heard of. I mean, the one thing I keep hearing from friends of mine in bands is that there's a huge scene in Indonesia. The shows are great, so it's good to know. I think a lot of that reason is that you have a very active scene with a ton of bands. I mean, there's a ton of bands on the CD, and that's the thing, is like, it's like without a bunch of bands, you won't have a scene. Like it takes the local band to really grow a hardcore scene, and that's in every city or country. So I think the fact that you guys have a really active scene with a bunch of bands is a testament to why you guys have a very strong hardcore scene. It's people like yourself that do labels and book shows and book tours, and it's a lot of work, but that, all that hard work translates into a good scene, and the better your scene is, the better chance you're going to have of, your favorite band coming out to play there. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money to get, to fly a band halfway across the world, to a place they've never been to, might not have even a place that they might not even know somebody that has been there, so it takes a lot of work, and I think the more people put into their scene, the better it'll get for everybody, and I think that's awesome. I think, that's the fact why we're getting a lot of people talking to us about going there, is because of, work that, people like you have done with the record labels and just promoting hardcore over there. I think it's great. We're definitely looking forward to coming out to Indonesia and hopefully playing with some of these bands on the compilation. Yeah, I've been basically, over the past 5 years, I've been doing a lot of hip hop production. I work with a lot of people from Soul Assassins Camp. Like, I actually right now I'm finishing up my first record. I produced the whole thing. It's called Carry On Tradition. It has people like Be Real, Rascast, Ryu, Apathy, Chase Infinite, Sick Jackin, Young D. Got a lot of the Soul Assassins family on there, and a lot of just, great, talented rappers. And it's awesome. I mean, I really think that the hip-hop and hardcore scene, really mirror each other. It's like, it's very similar in the ethic. Like, a lot of the sound, of underground hip-hop, it's hard, it's heavy, lyrics about reality, you know. And then at the same time, you have the mainstream hip hop, which is more, you know, can relate more to the bigger rock band. So it's like, you know, I definitely feel like as on the underground level, it's very similar. And that's why you get people like Vinnie Paz, who's from Jedi Mind Tricks. He loves hardcore. I hung out with him, and he knows more about hardcore than most hardcore kids I know. You know, it's like that's why you get kids that are into hardcore rapping, or kids that rap are into hardcore. You know, it's very similar, and I think that's what I like about it: the energy, the DIY ethic, and just, you know, kind of the close knit community, and everyone just kind of fighting for each other and doing shit to make it work. I think it's awesome. Like, I've been fortunate enough to I've been working with DJ Muggs a lot. I work a lot out of E-Real Studio, and I've been really fortunate just to be able to go from hardcore and then start producing hip hop, and then really fortunate to already be working with a lot of legends and a lot of people that have you know, really made a mark in the hip hop scene, and, you know, I feel blessed for that. I'm looking forward to getting this album out and then continuing on to my next project. Like, I'm definitely going to be working more in the hip hop scene. Like, it's definitely a type of music I love, and I just really love producing hip hop tracks. So you'll definitely hear some more stuff. I mean, I would say, you know, definitely check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Strife Los Angeles. We're also on Twitter. We pretty much communicate with all our fans and people into hardcore, so definitely, you know, find us on there and talk to us, and hopefully, you know, we'll be in Indonesia and Southeast Asia soon. You know, it's definitely high up on our list of priorities right now, so look for us hopefully there early next year. And then, you know, thanks a lot for the interview. You know, I would say to the hardcore kids, just, you know, do your homework and don't forget about the history and the roots of hardcore. It's not just what kids are saying is cool on a message board. Like, if you like a band, go back and listen to the bands that influenced that band and see where that sound came from, and do your homework and don't just buy into the hype. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of great bands out there that don't get the recognition that they deserve, and, you know, go out and find those and spread the word and support your scene. Do a zine, do a label, do a band. Like, that's the only way that the scene is going to grow. And that's it. Thanks a lot for the interview, and I hope to see you out in Indonesia soon.